Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It is Tuesday, and that means I'm talking to Kimberly. And guess what? It's a brand new show. It's called 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. Kimberly, how do you feel about the show?
It feels like we've barely been gone. It feels like we had no time off.
Because
feels like we're back.
Didn't have any time off. This show in general, how do you feel? Be honest. Be honest with the people.
This is my hate watch. This is my least favorite of the franchise. Yeah. I usually despise most of the couples. They're not the couples I would have chosen.
Right.
To continue on with. I hold grudges in my personal life and on this show. So if they were terrible in their before the 90-day journey, I still hate them in the happily journey. And I will only forgive if they're funny on Pillow Talk. So also, why do they keep bringing back some of these people that I hate so much? It's like Matt Sharp is doing it personally. It's a personal attack.
Speaking of Pillow Talk, I know you're a fan. Did you watch it after this show?
I watched part of it. They did their meetup with the game nights and the boys versus the girls.
So stupid.
Yeah, it's all very forced. Yeah, and I love when they act like, "Hey, let's do game night next week." Like they haven't planned it already.
It's I hate it so much, and I hated that they brought in what's the guy that we hate from The Other Way with Cleo?
Christian. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that part, but was he the special guest?
Yeah, Christian and Danielle from Danielle and Mahmoud season 1.
No.
Yeah, they came in together like they're like they were a couple.
I'm fine with Danielle.
Yeah, they came in together like they had anything to do with each other.
Oh, Christian! I hate Christian so much.
Do you know that Christian's handle on Instagram is Christian the Jew?
Yeah, that's a thing. Some people have been doing that. I haven't done that yet. Probably won't.
But because his name is Christian.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
He's a riot. We don't claim him. He was the guest. Oh my God. Danielle, I bet people were excited to see.
Yeah, she's always just a wacky good time because she's so odd. But he had no hat on, which was upsetting.
Yeah.
And why was he there? Nobody knew who he was. I mean, they were all like, "Who's this guy?" They were all like, "Who is that? Who is that?" Yeah, nobody knew who he was. The guy that was
horrible to Cleo. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to finish now. I want to see their reactions when he walks in. No, I love Pillow Talk. I hate most of these people, but no, I'm fine. They've put in Kobe and Emily as a palate cleanser for this season, and without them, I don't know what I would do. If there are episodes where they are not on,
what are we going to do?
God help me.
It's a double hate watch. I mean, all right, guys, we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best.
I'm going to need some breathing exercises to get through this.
We're going to do our best. And as we go, we will decide. Yeah. You know what? These people are too horrible and we have to remove them. But
we also want to hear from you. Let us know, the listener, as what you think. Is it worth our mental health suffering? Because it will entertain you. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
By us squeamishly covering Big Ed? Or would you rather us all just breathe?
Yeah. And just be like, Big Ed did something and on to the next.
Right.
The problem is we're going to have a week where we have only problematic people and then we don't have an episode.
I know.
Yeah.
But we also have Gino and Jasmine. They're problematic as heck. But
true.
Not legally. Legally, there's nothing wrong.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
It's more just personal. I have personal distaste for these people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. So week by week, we're going to take it week by week, just like day by day, or minute by minute. And but before we start, I do want to remind everybody about the meetup in LA, March 30th. It's going to be from 7 to 9 at the Mosaic Hotel. There is parking there, which I know for the Los Angeles, that's a huge thing. You can park.
That's a game changer.
It's a game changer. They have parking at the Mosaic Hotel, and you'll get a free bubbly beverage upon arrival. So there you go. You'll see me, you'll see producer Ingrid, and you'll see this gal, Kimberly.
Woohoo!
And
I'm going to shower.
Oh my God, she's getting off her couch. She's showering. She's doing the things. There might be some other special guests there. We'll see. I'm working on that. Kimberly's enough, just like Dennis. Dennis is enough.
Thank you.
My God, Kimberly, have we had 4 weeks in a row of Dennis on Dateline?
3, yeah.
Because I just watched this one that was on this past week, and I was like, well, now wait a minute.
Yeah.
So much Dennis.
Dennis O season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the season O Dennis.
All right. I like it.
He's Katie's favorite, so she's happy.
I do get concerned about the moles on his face and the fact that he needs to see a dermatologist.
I don't think they're that bad, or they're not changing.
I think they're changing. There was one under his eye that looked to be a different color, and I was concerned.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll shoot him a letter.
Yeah, just melanoma. My dad had it. It concerns me.
Yeah, of course.
So I have to imagine a guy like him.
He does live in Florida.
Oh. So what choice does he have?
Right.
It's Melanoma City down there.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope he has a good derm.
Get your moles checked. Yeah. So, okay, so I plugged that. So also, I have a quick personal plug. So I've talked to you guys a lot about my Poshmark journey and how I will show you the corner of my room there that has all my, you see that? It's what is it? It's like a baker's rack, but it's got all my Poshmark things that I sell on there.
That's amazing.
Because I have in my past really just bought too many clothes that I didn't need. So now I am selling things on Poshmark. And every so often I'll get like $150, $200, and then you put it right in your account and it's found money. But the problem that I've had is that I've had bins and bins of clothes in this office that have gone nowhere. They just stare at me and taunt me when I walk in here because I didn't want to list them just because I didn't have time because it takes time. So a bunkie heard me talk about this and reached out and says she has like a personal assistant service where she helps out with stuff like this.
Amazing.
She came to my house, took the bins away in her car, listed them all on my own Poshmark for me, like professionally on a mannequin, the whole thing.
Amazing.
Then sent it all back to me in like an Uber courier.
Incredible.
It was incredible. Now I've got the bin. I need to put the things from the bins on the shelves. So that way when something sells, I just pull it off the shelf. I've got a whole system. It's just the getting them out of the bins and listed is the problem.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It took her 4 days to do something that it has taken me, 6 months of just staring at and doing nothing.
So worth it.
So anytime now I have one of these little projects, I'm going to reach out to her. And I just wanted to shout her out if you're in the DC area. She also does like home organizing, and you and I are familiar with like having a person come over.
Yep. It's life changer.
Life changing. So her name is Corey, Korey, and she's here in DC. Her business is called Knock Out Your To-Do Personal Assisting. But see, her name, Corey, Ko. So her email is to-do list Ko. See, it's like knockout, but also Corey.
I love that.
Yeah. To-do list Ko, and it'll be in the show notes. But anyway, I just want to shout her out because really now I'm looking around like, what else can I call Corey about?
Yeah.
It's great. I felt like baller for like those 4 days.
I know.
While somebody was doing something for me. It was incredible.
Oh, God, I need an assistant.
It's just a weight lifted, right?
Yes. You feel like you can breathe in your house.
And I will like walk in here and all this stuff is staring me in the face. Like, when are you going to do it? So
yeah.
She did it. Anyway, she was great. Thank you, Corey. So, and then, okay, that's it. I'm not going to plug the last thing because it's too much plugging. So, do you have any next door to report? I told you to look into it. I looked too, and nothing exciting is happening on Nextdoor. People are mad about people speeding, always.
Yeah.
And a couple of lost dogs got found. That was good.
That's great. That never happens.
People are very upset at this one condo building about a guy that like hangs out in the parking lot. And then people are like, call the police. I did call the police. And then people love to go next door, but why are you posting here? Why don't you call the police?
People are mad about, one person is mad about this studio that's being built. Well, it's where this Warner Brothers studio used to be built, but now they're building sound stages or something. And she's like mad because there's construction. And every comment is like, I guess you hate jobs. Or you moved to the media capital of the world. Maybe don't get mad that there's a studio.
Yeah.
And so they're just very
It must be like, you're a failed actress.
Exactly. Jelly much?
Yeah, you know what, Matt told me the other day that, Matt Marr told me that I was telling him where we were staying in LA when we moved from the podcast movement conference to our other hotel, the Mosaic Hotel, where the meetup was going to be March 30th. Get your ticket. He said, yeah, you're not too far from Century City Mall. And I go, oh, really? He said, yeah, do you know why they call it Century City? I go, no. He goes, because it used to be the back lot of Century 21 Century Fox or whatever studios, and because the budget for Apocalypse Now like bankrupt the studios, they had to sell a bunch of the land, and then they built a mall there and some houses. So that's why it's called Century City.
How does he know all this?
I don't know, but I was like, can I get on your tour? Can I get on the Matt Marr tour of
That
LA?
sounds way better. Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Don't go with me. I don't know anything.
I botched some of that for sure, but the gist of the story is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody's going to write me, go, it wasn't Apocalypse Now. It was Jaws. Jaws. I saw that.
No, Jaws had to be a moneymaker.
Jaws had to be a moneymaker, but what is the tour that you go on?
At Universal?
So it's Universal. Yeah. Because I went on that tour because you go in the water and then it pretends like the tram's falling in the water and the giant shark comes out.
Yeah, yeah.
Should I do that while I'm in LA? That sounds fun.
Yeah, Universal's fun. Universal City Walk is fun.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the theme park. I just want to do something like that.
Okay, well, you'd have to go into the theme park to do the tram tour.
No, it's out. Nope. Too expensive, not doing it. Okay, Pillow Talk already asked you about that. All right, so let's get to recapping, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Season
1.
Season 8, episode 1, Once Upon a Rocky Relationship.
Oh, so what are our titles going to be?
They're all fairy tale themes. I've already looked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like The Princess and the Peanut, or it's like.
Yeah. Wow, they're going to have to dig deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is Once Upon a Rocky Relationship. Yeah.
Cancel and Gret the hell out of that relationship.
No, take that off your list. That's terrible.
Beauty and the Gino.
Oh, he's so good looking. He's so handsome.
His shark teeth. Speaking of Jaws, he has shark nose and piranha
teeth. Yeah. I was like, he don't look like piranha teeth. They're not pointy. That's not nice. But let's start with a nice couple that we love. It's Emily and Kobe.
Yay!
So, now, you know why we screamed Kobe is because when we first saw them, whenever Kobe would be around, she's like, Kobe! She would just yell at him, Kobe, my dress! So I told her that we imitated her like that. She was like, that's great. She's like, I don't do that anymore. 31 from Salina, Kansas, and Kobe, 36 from Cameroon. So I told you when I talked to them that he works for an asphalt company, but he's like in the lab part. So he like mixes it up. He's not like out there like putting the asphalt down. So that's good. Yeah.
Because he was wearing a safety vest when he came home.
I know, but he's like engineering.
He was a delivery person or worked in construction.
Well, he works for like a construction company, but he's like in the office part where they like make the asphalt. So maybe he has to go out and make sure they're putting the correct kind of asphalt down on a job. Like if somebody gets like a knee replacement and then like the medical device person has to go and watch the surgery to make sure they put the right knee in. Did I lose you?
You lost me.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like he has to go to make sure they're using the right product for the job. Right. Yeah. Like don't put a hip into a knee socket. Like you gotta put the right.
I hope the doctor would know not to do that without a supervisor there, but sure.
Okay. So we open with Emily and she's getting ready for sexy times. And this is all very staged and stupid, but it's fine because we love them. So we remember they have 2 kids now. Coben is 4 and their daughter Charlotte is 2. They still did I say Charlotte?
Yeah.
It's Scarlett. Sorry. Are we sure it's Scarlett? I think it's Scarlett.
I think it's Scarlett. Yeah.
Yeah. I said Charlotte. So they still live in her parents' basement. David and Lisa, we love them. So we show them, they have dinner, they're putting the kids to bed, they're doing all that. She reminds us of their backstory. They met in China when she was there teaching English, and he was an underwear model. She's always been a traveler. She's always been sort of like that kid in the family that's like, oh, what's Emily doing? Right. So they hooked up, and then she got pregnant. And she came back to America and started the K-1 visa process. But because of COVID, he missed Coben's birth. Now, that was rough for us when we were recapping it during COVID when she had baby Coben, and it's Kobe.
I also made that comment when I covered it with Katie. Yeah.
That's rough.
It's rough. It's hard to, it wouldn't have, it's fine. It's fine now.
Yes.
And in 10 years, it's going to be great.
Right. Just like when my sister named her oldest child, who's now like 33, she named him Sanford. And I was like, Sanford and Son. She's like, nobody is going to know what that is by the time he's older.
Right. Or anybody named Katrina. I'm sure it was a rough few years.
Right. And then her youngest son is, there's the third of the four is Harrison, and they call him Harry. Well, they really mostly call him Harrison, but he goes by Harry. I'm like, Harry Potter, Harry Styles. She's like, nobody's going to know that either.
Prince Harry.
Prince Harry. Also, he lives in Montana and is a cowboy. So none of those people know anything about any of that. Okay. Coben and Scarlett. So I wonder, though, I would like to know, and I will ask them if I get to talk to them again. Kobe. So I wonder if with the firstborn son, like it had to be Coben, like if that's a cultural thing.
Oh.
Like Kobe and Coben, or maybe his real name is Coben. Call him Kobe. I'd be interested to know. So they live in David and Lisa's basement. So they have the dinner. They put the kids to bed. They talk about how they met. And the K-1 visa process, COVID. Okay. He says he was so glad to be a dad, but being a husband was hard. And the first 90 days were hard when they were together. And he said, a big challenge for us was her bossiness. We get a lot of clips of her being bossy.
Mm-hmm.
But we made it to the altar. They've been married for 2 years. Kobe has his green card. She's a stay-at-home mom. They're saving up to get their own place. And as we know, in real time, she's about to give birth to baby number 3.
They need to stop having sex until he gets a vasectomy.
They want to have 5 kids, she told me. They want to have 5.
Okay.
He's one of 7.
Oh, wow. Okay,
I'm so wrong. I think he's one of 10. I think he's one of 10.
And I shouldn't be commenting on a family's family planning.
Yeah.
But it does appear that several were unexpected and unplanned.
For them, just the first.
And the second, because they promised their dad they wouldn't have another baby.
And they got pregnant before the wedding.
Thing they did before the wedding.
Yeah. Well, the third one's definitely planned.
Okay, good.
3 through 5 will definitely be planned.
There's still a joy, I'm sure, is joy in their life, whether they're planned or not. They're beautiful children. They make beautiful babies, and they seem to be good parents. Are they still living in their parents' house?
She told me at that 90-day, 10-year anniversary party, she told me that they were definitely not going to have another kid until they could get their own place.
Okay. That seems wise.
So one hopes that they are in their own place, and perhaps we'll see that journey for them on this show.
Great.
Yes.
I love that for them and their parents, although it's going to be rough raising those kids without the parents' help. The parents seem to help a lot.
Yeah. Well, mom will just always be over at their new house, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
So now they talk about their upcoming 25-hour travel day because David, Lisa, the kids, and Kobe and Emily are all going to Cameroon. And then
that made me anxious just thinking about it. The plane ride.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Can you be on the airplane for 18 hours?
Like is that like good for your body? I feel like there's not enough. Like I know the air circulates. I feel like being up at that altitude is not good. Yeah. Someone's going to get a blood clot.
An embolism?
Get up and walk around. It's not good. Yeah. I don't know how the pilots do it and the flight attendants, but that stressed me out, especially with children.
Well, you know that one time when we were flying not one time, the only time I ever flew to Hawaii, we were going from Houston to Hawaii. So I think it was 8 or 9 hours. And they had a little tiny sleeping area. And we were in like business class. And in the back of business class, they had like a little room. And that's where the flight attendants had to take after like 6 hours or 5 hours. They had to take a shift in that room for like an hour to rest or maybe 2. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think one of the pilots would go back there too. I think they had 3 pilots.
There used to be a reality show about pilots, not pilots, like flight attendants and people who worked at an airport. And there
Mhm.
was an American version, but the British version was really fun. It was like, I think it was called Come Fly Away
Uh-huh.
with Me.
Yeah.
But it was like dealing with passengers that are horrible, but like, or like just problem solving constantly. But I
Yeah.
would like more of up in the air action. But I
Yeah.
don't know how they would film that. Seems like a camera crew would be intrusive. But that's
Yeah.
another world, like we talked about the cruise ships, like another sort of world and profession that I find fascinating.
I find it fascinating too, because under the cruise ship is like a whole nother cruise ship. Do you know what I mean? On
Yeah,
the
yeah.
below deck part,
Mhm.
it's like they have a whole world down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It is fascinating to me too. And the flight attendant thing about them having their own little room on the airplane to go and take a nap, like how long are you allowed to be in that room? You know, because like what if it's this flight attendant's turn and she's in there for 2 hours, but then what if I'm sure they've got it all worked out, but
Yeah.
then the pilot has to go and it's his nap time and
Right. So they stay fresh.
yeah, stay
But it's
fresh.
hard to just sleep on command. So
Not
if
if
you're
that's
not
your
doing
job. I
drugs,
guess. Yeah.
if you're actually, there's a YouTuber or TikToker who works for Emirates, the
Hmm.
very fancy. So she
Yeah.
has to wear this like fancy head covering, and
Yes.
she flies to Dubai all the time. And they're like such strict, like their makeup has to be done exactly the
You've
same
seen them in the
way.
airport, right? With their
And
perfect little
yes,
hats. Yes.
yes. And their hair has to be exactly the same. It was fascinating.
Yeah. I'm like, God, I'm so tired just from getting ready.
Yeah.
Now I
And they
gotta
have to wear
work.
like heels.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No. Okay. So they're going to travel for this. They're having a 25-hour travel day with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Fun. Um, then Kobe explains to them once they're there, nobody does anything on a Monday. You can't do anything on a Monday. And they're like, why? And he says, well, if you open your shop on a Monday, it could get burned down because Cameroon is divided into two parts. One is English speaking and one is French speaking. And there's a history of conflict between the two regions. And right now there's a civil war. The English people set Monday as the day to ruin the ruling government.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, well, what? Okay, Monday's the day. So you just stay in your house on Mondays.
I'm fine with that. I need a
Yeah.
day off every week to just veg on the couch.
Yeah. And you don't open your store because it could get burned down. Tuesday, you're good. Monday, no.
I'm impressed with the parents that they're actually willing to go, because I feel like a lot of people in America would be like, oh, I'm not going to a war-torn civil war country.
Yeah.
In America, bad things happen too all the time.
Oh,
But,
yeah. But I think
you
they're
know,
so supportive and they're like, we love Kobe so much. We would like to see
yeah,
where he comes from. We'd like to meet his
yeah,
family, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. They could understand him better. Like, I mean, him just telling them
Uh-huh.
this, they were like, what now?
If
Um,
Ashley's family went to visit Manuel's family, they would
mm,
get a better understanding of him, but he's not inviting them. So,
no, they're not invited.
no.
So, he says, it's fine. It's safe. He says, we would not be going there. I mean, he would not be taking his children into this situation if it wasn't
Right.
safe, obviously.
Yeah. I'm
So
sure it's beautiful country too.
I'm sure it is. And he says, to Emily, he says, you're just going to have to like be yourself, but like less of yourself. Like
Women love to hear that.
love to hear to be less like an American woman. She goes, but I am an American woman. He says, you just got to take it down. Just be a little more chill. Just be a little, and he says, I am concerned my family could hold a grudge against her because it's not common at all where I'm from for a man to leave and marry a foreigner, much less an American woman. And in Africa, the women are very subservient to their men. So
Mhm.
this will be very different for them.
Yeah.
And so they're packing for the trip. And
I don't know if she's capable of turning it off.
I
Turning off her
I
alpha-ness.
I totally think she is.
You think so? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
I could.
Mhm.
I've been told I'm a bit much a lot, Emily, so I hear
Mhm.
you, but I feel like I could turn it off if there was a cultural thing
Me
going
too. I
on.
do too. Yeah.
So hopefully she can.
I think she can. I think she can. And because they're talking it up so much, I think it's so in her head that she's probably gonna
Yeah,
like
yeah.
overboard, probably sit in a corner
Mhm.
and not speak.
Right.
Um, so they're packing for the trip and she's showing him the trick of like putting the outfit, the diaper, ready to go, and roll it
Did
up.
that
And
seem like a good system? If you had
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it totally seemed like a good
Maybe
system.
I should try it. Could it work for adults too? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Except my clothes are size beautiful, so I don't
Right.
know if they rolled up would fit into those little pockets.
Well, you could have like if you're going to do 7 days a week, you could do
Yeah.
the top row is Monday. And then
Yeah.
you could be like, shirt, underwear, bra, pants, socks. Go.
Okay.
Granimals. They were invented for a reason.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I've heard that, but I don't know what they are. Yeah,
Okay,
I've heard the term.
So when
There's
I was
something for kids.
Yeah, so when I was little, not when my kids were little, but way back in the day, I think when I was growing up, I was like, I wish they would have had Garanimals when I was, it was around that time. So it was like the 70s or something, 80s maybe. Somebody's going to correct me. But what it was all the outfits had an animal on the tag, right? So 2 giraffes will always go together. 2 elephants will always go together. So when kids were learning to pick out their clothes of what matched, if they both had an elephant, then it went together.
Oh, interesting.
Good idea, right?
I'm more for teaching children that nothing has to match and just wear whatever you feel. If I had a child, they would dress like it would be all over the place.
They would dress like the crazy art teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So
like one flip-flop, one boot.
No, that's not safe. That's not safe.
There's a reason I don't have children.
So anyway, he does say that he's excited, because for the first time ever, his family will see him as a father and a husband, which has got to be wild, right? They've not only never met his wife, never seen him as a husband, never seen him as a dad, and he's excited about that. And obviously he's so excited for his parents to meet the kids. Seems like they're trying to teach them some words. His family must speak French, I guess.
Yeah.
And she said
French.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I'm like, get on to Babbel or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she says she's nervous about the whole thing, but she does just really hope that they love her and accept her because she loves their son so much. And they arrive at the airport 2 weeks for 4 adults and 2 kids. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff.
He made that joke, like, are you moving out of America?
Yeah.
It's so much luggage, but I didn't realize it was 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. Yeah. But if you have to imagine, they don't know if they're going to be able to wash clothes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some sort of laundry system there, but yeah.
Of course. But they
don't know what the weather is going to be.
Yeah. Wow. 2 weeks. And plus all the diapers.
Oh my gosh. So many diapers.
So many diapers.
Also, there was a B-roll establishing shot of Selina, and Ann Wilson from Heart is playing at one of the theaters there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ann Wilson from Heart is from Selina.
Maybe that's why she's playing there. I don't know. But there was a marquee and I thought, oh, wow.
When I talked to them, I remember asking them, like, when they go out, what do they do? And she goes, well, I love to go see live music. And I go, what'd you see recently? And everything she named was country. And I was like, how do you feel about that? And he goes, well, I don't like it, but it's the only thing to do. So that's where we go. He's like, so that's where we go. Ann Wilson, Heart. Different. Okay, we're going to move on to our favorite witch, Ashley and Manuel. Is she
our favorite?
Yeah, well, she's the only one we know.
I like Sabrina. So, Ashley, 33 from New York, and Manuel from 36 from Ecuador. I don't know if you said that. Are we assuming everyone knows everybody?
No, we assume nothing.
Okay. So we start with a close-up of Manuel's sweaty face and saying, this woman is trying to kill me. And it's a spinning class. You might have thought she was doing some witchery on him.
Or banging him in a coffee shop.
Yep. Manuel is dying, but Ashley is running the class and like with a ton of energy, bouncing up and down. And she says, let's give it up for my honey bunny in his first spin class. And everyone claps for him and is high-fiving him. I thought it was very cute.
Yeah.
So she has the enthusiasm for class. Wow. So she's still a practicing witch, but she also makes money as a spin instructor.
Have you ever been to a spin class?
I have once. Yeah.
I just watching that solidifies why I would never.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It looks horrible.
Yeah. So they've been married for almost a year already. That's a lot. Yeah. I was shocked. So they met 10 years ago in Ecuador. She was there for college. He asked her to dance. They reconnected 7 years later and he proposed. And when he came here on the 90-day journey, when she drove to pick him up at the airport, the editors have blessed us with her first panic attack of last season, the first of many.
Yep.
The "I'm ugly" crying as she's driving on the freeway, and it doesn't occur to her to maybe pull off to the side.
No, but and again,
so many people could have died that day.
You pointed out on that first time we saw her that her sister had no empathy for her and was like, and I was like, yeah, I couldn't believe her sister didn't even care. And you're like, I have a feeling the sister's pretty used to it. And as the season went along, we found out the sister's really used to it. You clocked that right away. Yeah.
Do your breathing. Yeah. No,
you're a badass bitch. Yeah.
You're
yeah.
Badass bitch. You got this, girl. You want to call me back when this one's over? Great. Okay.
Maybe less coffee, more water.
Maybe not double shot espressos constantly. How about that? So they are still working on their main issue, which is having sex in gross bathrooms. No, their main issue is that he is a closed book. And she has to open the book and ask what each page means. She loves the metaphor.
Yes.
So they are at a local lilac festival, which looks very fun. He seems to be enjoying the American food. I think he had one of those giant turkey legs. Those like Henry VIII that you get at a Ren fair. Yeah. And her mom and sister and the sister's boyfriend meet them there. He feels stressed hanging out with her family because he doesn't speak English. And she says, well, you should learn English. And he says, well, my wife should teach me English. So
it's not really up to her. But
I have so many. He's been there. This means if they've been married for a year, he's been there for a year and 90 days. And he has not learned any English. What does he do all day? Does he have his work permit? I'm so confused.
He definitely has a work permit by now.
He should.
He's in construction, so I'm sure it's not not that hard.
Yeah, couldn't he have taken an English class? Babel. She speaks Spanish, so he probably feels like he doesn't have to, but it would expand his life so much more if he could speak English. So her mom says, why hasn't he introduced, she's right and starts in, how's it being married? Why hasn't he introduced you to his children?
Good question.
They've known each other for 10 years and the kids are teenagers and Ashley has never met them. When she visited Ecuador, she didn't meet them. He video chats them a lot, but he doesn't invite Ashley in on the call.
Weird. It's weird.
It's very weird. So she says, Mama channels the family Chantel, Karen, and goes, maybe there's stuff we don't know. Should we hire a private detective? Maybe he is harvesting the American dollar.
We're going to get Mama Karen on the 90-Day Single Life tell-all.
We are. Oh, yeah. You're talking about Chantel and the Grease guy.
Yeah.
So the sister wisely says, we're spiraling. Let's not do this. They're having this conversation 2 yards in front of Manuel, who is talking to the boyfriend via Google Translate on the phone. They can't understand it. They can talk fully about maybe he's cheating on you. Maybe he has another wife somewhere and 80 children. Like he doesn't. That's why he needs to learn English.
Yes. Yes. Because he needs to know what they're saying about him. Absolutely. Yes.
So Ashley says, my mom, she shouts at her mom, right? Throws her under the bus. My mom wants to know why I haven't met your children. And Manuel says, well, I didn't want to confuse them.
It's been a year. He's been gone for a year. It's probably more confusing as to where is dad.
Exactly. Who is this lady? Is that his roommate? What's happening? So he says everything has its time, which is some bullshit gaslighter thing that people say. Everything happens in good time. He says there's lots of stuff going on right now in Ecuador. So not now. And I was
children aren't leading the civil war. I think
I said there's a civil war in Cameroon and Kobe still wants the whole family to visit.
That's right.
So what's your excuse, Manuel?
No excuse, Manuel.
No. If he does have more family or children, I don't think he does. But let's just say that would be the best season ever. That would be like Tyree and the catfish. That would be that would be a good twist. A good Dateline episode.
It would be like David and Lana when he went to...
And she was real.
And she was real.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Caesar and that lady,
Yeah.
she was real.
She was real.
Yeah.
But never met in person though. Those two.
No.
People
So that's
still
it for
talking to
them.
her.
We'll see what happens.
And all those people, like David and Caesar, like going onto that website or that app where they had to pay like $5 a minute to send like ye old text. I was like, there are phones now and there's WhatsApp.
Yeah, no, they never transfer off the app. Yeah.
They're not allowed to talk off app. For $400 a day.
That's not shady.
Okay, let's move on to Jasmine and Gino.
And then he wanted to fight in the war.
Who?
David, who is like 60.
Wanted to fight what war?
In Ukraine.
Oh, God.
And he bought this was on Diaries, I think. I love Diaries.
I never watched Diaries.
Okay, Diaries is 90 Day Diaries is so entertaining. It's them filming themselves. It's not edited like this show is. There's no music or like, maybe there's a little music, but it's not like all fake. It's like a little more real, but which means it's a little more boring because sometimes the camera is just set up and it's just people talking, but like it's more real. It's more behind the scenes. So he went and bought all this like tactical gear and like camo vests and stuff at an army store. And then he told his friend, I'm going to go and fight in the war for Ukraine. And his friend was like, you're 60.
And what will happen to your wig?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And this is the worst idea ever. And he was turned away. They said, no, thank you.
They said, this is not the kind of help we need.
But he was going to go and live on like the outskirts so that if they needed help, he could just like run in.
That's not how that works.
I mean, his heart was there. God bless him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He was standing up for Lana, I guess.
Yeah.
Or Natalie and Mom and Mama.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Jasmine and Gino. So, all right, my God.
And her giant titties.
And wow, Kimberly. Titties. Wow.
I've never said that word before, but there's no other word for those things.
Wow. You guys, Kimberly has come over to Pink Shade and she has said fuck. She has said bitch. And now she has said titties.
I've literally never said that word out loud in my entire life.
I probably haven't either until just now, but it does. If the swimsuit fits or it doesn't.
It doesn't fit. Yeah.
So somebody wrote on our Facebook group, is she in a bathing suit from the Toddlers and Tiaras collection? This is ridiculous. Like, why is she in? First of all, it's an American flag, which, like, we get it right on the nose. But
also, you're not supposed to do that, I think. And all the people who get mad about protesting the flag and kneeling, they're wearing thong bikinis that have the American flag on them.
It was so egregious, this bathing suit. So egregious.
Those triangles were like maybe an inch, like in height, maybe, and
because we don't know the scale of those boobies.
Right. So it's hard to, we need some sort of scientist, like a mathematician, who can see it on the TV and somehow scale it to, like on TV, the forensic people will see a guy walking on security camera, a murderer, and be able to tell how tall he is by comparing him to the buildings.
Right.
So we need someone who finds out the length of that boat that they're on. And then figure out the width of her boobies.
Okay. Yes. Well, large is, I'm just going to say, like, it's like cantaloupe, like full cantaloupe.
And like, I have very large breasts, and it's horrible. I've hated them my whole life. They hurt your back and your neck, and they can't find clothes that fit.
Yes, all of it.
It just blows my mind that people are doing this on purpose.
Right, because you're thinking, if you get a shirt, and she in life is a size small, she's got a shirt a size extra large, and they get it tailored in, fit everywhere else, because only extra large will fit across the chest.
Also, her body frame is not meant to hold up those. So
no, that's why it looks that way.
Having back problems and neck problems, and the skin looks so tight.
It looks so painful, guys.
It does. And like, women do whatever you want with your body, but like, I'm so over these unrealistic body expectations. Like, if you're watching at home thinking my body doesn't look like that, her body doesn't look like that.
No, it doesn't.
Not without medical intervention. So, and then when she starts complaining about money, that's when it really gets me. Like all the money she spent but her kids need a lawyer to come. I don't know. I get so mad at her.
Yeah, I know. Imagine if you're Gino. So anyway, off the bathing suit.
Yeah,
so they're
sorry.
Yeah, they're on. I know it was upsetting. For everyone involved. So
but they keep doing close-ups, right? That's what they want us to do.
I wonder
us to do.
If like when they got off that boat, she put on like a cover up because probably they were like, we're on this boat and you can be as crazy as you want. But he's like, please, in public, no.
Yeah.
He says that he's driving a pontoon boat. He's like, this lake is romantic. And she says he's sexy in his captain's hat. And he's like, this is our honeymoon. It's so great. And she goes, this honeymoon's not how I imagined it. I was thinking private yacht. And then we go back and forth because he doesn't understand that she's saying yacht.
I didn't understand she was saying yacht.
I thought she was saying jet. I thought she was saying jet, but she was saying yacht.
I thought she was saying judge.
Oh, I thought she was saying jet, but she was saying yacht. They spent too much money on the wedding, so they can't have a honeymoon. And you guys, they're making TLC money. I don't buy it, but whatever. They've been together 3.5 years, married for 2 months now. And then she says, Gino, he is more handsome than Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is her benchmark. And Gino is more handsome than Bruce Willis. Yeah.
But false. Yeah. There's no statement, no part of that statement that's true.
I agree with that. So on the boat, he goes, wow, Jasmine, you're so tan. You look so good. You're so tan. And she goes, I know. And you're still very lucky to have me. We should make a baby right now. Right here. We get on the floor. Nobody will notice. They won't notice the 3 cameramen standing here filming us boning. And then she says, because I'm ovulating, so we have to do it on this trip. And he goes, all right, maybe tonight and while we're camping. And she goes, I hope you brought those blue pills. You take 3.
That could kill him.
So don't do that. He's gonna have a heart attack.
Also, she wants to have a baby after all the work she's put in on her body.
It's surprising. It is.
She's just gonna need more work after.
Yeah, that's what she lives for. So, in the talking head, he says, yeah, Jasmine is a very jealous person and it's definitely getting worse. And she was like, I know, but we are committed to make it work and only death will separate us. One of us is going to be dying.
Well, probably we have been saying they are our Dateline crossover.
Yeah. And then they explained that their plan is to bring her kids over in 6 months. So my math is she was there for 3 months for the K-1 visa. They've been married for 2. Uh-huh. So it must be a 1-year plan to bring the kids over at 1 year.
Yeah, but I don't think they've actually done any of that work to make that happen. That's just the plan in their heads.
Okay. And also maybe it's super easy once you're married. I don't know.
I don't know. Tariq and Hazel were struggling.
Right. You're right. In the spirit of self-care and Women's History Month, today's sponsor, OneSkin, is here to help you simplify your skincare regimen. Founded by 4 PhDs dedicated to skin longevity, OneSkin proves you don't need a complicated routine to achieve better skin. Their topical supplements make it easy to help your skin stay younger and healthier without all those extra steps. They combine tissue engineering, data analysis, and cutting-edge longevity science to create the world's most effective product to target skin aging. OneSkin believes the purpose of skincare is not just to improve how we look, but to optimize our skin biology so that it is more resilient to the aging process. Oh, I love it. They create next-level skincare. The secret to all this is OneSkin's proprietary OS1 peptide. It's the first ingredient scientifically proven to reduce the buildup of those notorious zombie cells that contribute to skin aging. Fewer zombie cells means healthier, younger-looking skin with fewer lines and wrinkles, reduced age spots, and a stronger natural barrier. Something that is especially important this time of the year. Your skin does so much for you. Return the favor with OneSkin. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin, and for a limited time, our listeners will get an exclusive 15% off their first OneSkin purchase using the code PINKSHADE when you check out at oneskin.co. Get started today with 15% off using code PINKSHADE at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code PINKSHADE. And after your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. It's time you expect more from your skincare routine. Invest in the health of your skin with OneSkin. Y'all, what if you could get an extra 43 hours of sleep per year? Here's a secret. You won't get that with your cotton sheets, but you will get it with clean bamboo. Ettitude sheets feel unlike anything else you've ever slept on. And no, they will not cost you or the earth, because right now you can get $35 off your first order with code PINKSHADE. They're unbelievably soft, clean bamboo sheets. They have over 20,000 five-star reviews, and in a controlled sleep study, sleep efficacy improved by 1.5% per night, which adds up to that whopping extra 43 hours of sleep per year. You know, in the morning when I'm scrounging for seconds of minute or rest, just sending up a desperate prayer that my alarm clock doesn't go off and make me furious, that extra time is a godsend. It is the epitome of luxury. And it's not just the softness. In that study, 94% of participants preferred Ettitude sheets to competitors, which means you'll sleep better throughout the night and wake up feeling more rested than ever before. Simply put, the Ettitude sheets are the secret to better sleep. They're so sure that you'll love sleeping with them that you can try Ettitude bedding risk-free for 30 nights. Yeah, risk-free for 30 nights. If you're not completely satisfied, you can return the sheets for a full refund. So never miss a good night's rest and recovery again with Ettitude. So y'all know I got the sheets and I immediately ordered a second set for my bed. So now I got 2 sets for my own bed. Then I ordered some for both of my kids. They have thanked me. They're thrilled. Next order will be for the guest room. So when my mom comes, she'll be happy when she comes to visit because the sheets stay so cool and so soft. So don't forget, you can get $35 off your first order plus free shipping for a limited time when you visit ettitude.com/pinkshade. Do it. On the boat, he says, I know you've sacrificed a lot coming to USA.
Oh my gosh. I never notice it.
Never the coming to USA.
Such as the America, such as.
Yes. And since her kids aren't there, she says she's not complete and she feels like she's failed them. She's been in U.S. for 4 months and hasn't seen her kids in those 4 months. And she wants to give them a home. They've already been through a lot. Her babies are growing so fast. She's not there with them. And then she says, at the end of the day, if I can't have them here with me, I will end up choosing my children over my husband. Even though I think it's going to be a better life for us here. If something happens and she can't get them over, that's what's going to happen.
I've said a lot of crap about her as a mom. Yeah. She does always get very upset when she talks about her children. I do think she loves them. And I do think there is a cultural thing in Panama. Someone said online, of moms going away to earn money for their kids. Whereas here, that would be a little different. And we tend to put more onus on the mom than the dad. I don't know. Yeah. There's this lot of gender norms and stuff like that. But I have criticized her quite a bit for the way she parents.
Well, I think of the 46 seasons she's been on, only recently are we hearing her mention that she wants to bring her kids over. She could have been mentioning it all along and it didn't make the cut. I mean,
Right.
So they arrive at the campground and the guy is showing them to where they're going to be able to set up their tent, which was beautiful.
The guy's face when she walked in her heeled sandals and the shortest jean shorts? No. He gave this look he wasn't excited. He was like, these Hollywood people.
Yeah. So they arrive at the campground and Jasmine goes, Gino, are you serious? We're going to stay here. She says, I've seen places like this in the horror movies where people get this slashed in the night. And he goes it's going to be great. So they show him around. There's here are the showers. And then she says, Gino, I just got 3 vaginal infections from just looking at that shower. I was like, what are you doing in the shower? You rubbing your vag on the wall?
I felt for her in this. I've recently started to love camping, but I do it in a van. I rent a van because I've been obsessed with van life for 7 years, and I want to partially live in a van and do all that. But does he know his wife at all? Has he met Jasmine? This is a honeymoon.
They're doing it for content. They're doing it for content.
The lady even goes, "Oh, you're our first honeymoon." We've been around since the 50s, probably.
Right.
And when no man has ever thought to bring his wife here for a honeymoon.
This is totally for content. They already did that Miami thing. That was their
right. Now it's the fish out of water story. city slickers, whatever. But it was very funny. But here's your honeymoon. Here's Lyme disease as your wedding gift. Enjoy.
So then he says, look at that lake. It's so pretty. Later on, we can take a dip in the lake. She goes, I'm not getting in that lake. Have you seen the movie Crocodile?
I didn't get that one either.
He was like, what? He goes, that movie called Crocodile. And he goes like, I don't know the word that you're saying. And finally,
is this a new thing? I've never not understood her before. She teaches English.
She's leaning in to being Sophia Vergara. I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because she teaches English. I've literally never not understood her before. And now it's been twice.
I think she's leaning in.
You nailed it.
The movie Crocodile says she's not going to get in the lake. He's like, there's no crocodiles here. Like, what are you talking about? So she says, camping sucks. This is horrible. And she says, but I'm willing to try camping because we're going to try to make a baby tonight. So they sit and they make s'mores. And she's like, I've never had this. You're going to eat it. It's like a chicken wing or something. I was like, what are you doing? Show her how to eat a s'more.
Like corn on the cob.
Yes, corn on the cob. And she tells him, Gino, I think we need to start looking for a new house because, it's too small and you had another woman living there for 7 years and it's going to be too small for us to live there with my kids and a new baby. And he goes, oh my God, like if you were pregnant, we'd be talking about it, but you're not pregnant. Your kids aren't here yet. Buying a new house costs a lot. And she says, baby, you need to get a job. Now she's right about that. He should have never quit that job. I know he did it for TLC because they were filming a lot, but she's right. He needs to get a job. Mm-hmm. Now that she's settled, And then she tells us that, what Gino doesn't know is in the past, she had a hard time getting pregnant with her other 2 children. And his first marriage broke up because they couldn't have a child. So maybe she should have told him this, but she didn't. And what if she tells him that and she's scared that she could never get pregnant and then he'll break up with her? And I say, why are we discussing this? Girl, go to a doctor first. Yeah. Get your information in line before you start spouting it out on television.
How many more lies have this couple has lied about things? I think this is number like 8. And I know. There's not going to be any more lies that they can come up with for their storyline. And then they promise never going to lie again.
Never.
Complete honesty. But then there's always one more lie.
Always one more lie.
Also, the poor people who are at the campground next to them, they just wanted some peace and quiet and and they're going to have to hear them bone tonight.
Maybe they'll think it's like a fox.
An animal.
Fox is mating in the woods. Yeah. I don't know how it is there, but here, when the foxes have mating season, it will wake you out of a dead sleep. You're like, what is that?
Wow.
Because, there's a whole song, what does the fox say?
Yes.
Because nobody really knows. But of course, Natalie and Mike, they know because what happens in the wood. That's what she was talking about, when the screaming from the wood. I heard screaming. Yeah. It's the foxes. They scream.
Well, the coyotes scream around my parents' house when they catch something. And it's the worst sound in the world because I get sick to my stomach when I imagine like an animal dying.
What they caught.
Caught. It makes me so upset. But they like howl, like they screech. It's the worst sound.
Yes. The fox sound is the worst sound. One time I was picking up John at a basketball practice. So I was over at this elementary school sitting in the parking lot, waiting for him to come out. And there was a sound that I really thought it was like a kid crying, like a baby crying. It was like, wah, wah, screaming, like a screaming, crying toddler. And so I was looking over at like the back of some apartments and I was like, I wonder if somebody like left their kid out on the balcony. Like I was so upset, Kimberly. I was like, should I call the non-emergency number? Like, what should I do? Like, I can't just and another parent drove up. And so at that point I was just standing outside the car, just looking around, trying to figure out what it was. And another parent drove up and I said, do you hear that? Because it wasn't constant, And I said, I wonder, it sounds like a kid. Like, sounds like a kid. What should we do? Should I call the non-emergency number? And she goes, no, I think it's foxes. What? Gosh. She said it was foxes. That's what they do when they're like, when they find another one and they're like mating, they scream.
Oh my God.
And it sounds like a toddler crying.
Well, I just posted on Instagram stories a video of 2 foxes playing and laughing, and it sounds like kids laughing, and it was really cute. So that makes sense.
Okay.
That they
Oh my
make human
God.
noises. Just watch this video. It's a palate cleanser.
Okay. All right. Because we have foxes all over the place here. A lady posted a video the other day on Nextdoor. She was walking her dog. It was like a German Shepherd that kind of looks like a fox, you know?
Uh-huh.
And a fox was on the other side of the road, did their whole walk with them. And she was like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like they would stop at the light. That fox would stop at the light. They
Are
would
you
keep
serious?
going. The fox would keep going. Yeah. Just trotting along like it was going for a walk with them, but on the opposite side of the road.
Oh my God.
Now, my dogs would have lost their ever-loving minds.
Well, you have to be careful. I don't know. Are foxes like coyotes? Do they go
Yes,
after?
they will go after a tiny dog.
Yeah. That's scary.
All right, let's move on.
Wait, I can play you the video.
Fox talk is over. Okay. Oh, Fox talk is not over. Okay, keep going.
No, sorry, it's not over yet. It'll be
go
over
ahead.
in a second. Wait, no, it might take me a while to do it, so forget it.
No, now I'm ready.
Well, I gotta find it. I don't know.
You just said we're going to play it, and then you didn't have
do
it.
I have to scroll all the way to the end? How does this work? Oh my God!
What does the fox say? Geek, 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 geek.
It'll be worth it.
Beep, beep, beep.
I'm
You guys, I did a great TikTok about the wood and what does the fox say. I did that TikTok myself. I think it took me 2 days. So if anybody wants to go to our TikTok at Pink Shade Pod. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Fox sounds.
Yeah. Oh,
Kimberly.
They're like rolling around being tickled.
I don't. That's creepy.
Mary Payne doesn't like it.
Oh my God.
I thought it was cute.
Okay, Fox talk is over.
Okay.
Let's go to Nicole and Mahmoud. Nicole, 40, Los Angeles. Mahmoud, 31, Cairo. Nicole's hair.
So it's the color of
Cherry limeade?
V8.
We should ask Katie.
I don't love it.
I don't hate it.
I liked the blonde better. The cut is just still so severe.
Yeah, and then
that bob with the bangs.
But then in the talking head, we get that bathing suit cap hair. What's happening there?
So I much prefer when the bangs are straight.
Yes.
But in the talking head, the bangs are choppy and pushed all over. And it looks like she was just like driving in a convertible. And I don't
like that super, super short. I don't mind the severe bangs and that little Buster Brown look she's got working. Yeah. And I like the red better than the blonde in that style. Yeah. But when it's super, super short like that, I think the blonde would be better.
I do too. Also, it's kind of red, but it's very orange red.
Yeah.
And it's so I prefer like a bluish red, like a red with more blue tints, or and not that orange. It's like a little clownish. I don't know. It's very confusing. And then she's wearing hot pink with it, which is
she's 40 and looks like she's 20.
That's her face. I mean, good for her. It doesn't move that much.
No.
Yeah, I was surprised that she was 40. I'm always surprised by her age.
She's very, very young looking.
Yeah. But everyone in LA looks a little bit younger, I feel like. Like people in California just look younger.
Yeah.
I don't.
Speaking of melanoma, it seems like people in California would look like people in Florida and be leathery, but no.
But no.
But no.
No. Have you seen me? We see her legs walking and shopping, and I was like, those are the only legs in LA that are paler than mine.
Yeah, wow. Real pale. But she's got that 50 SPF on, even indoors. Mm-hmm. She's not letting a stray UV ray hit her. Nope.
Yeah. So she's walking around shopping in these heeled cowboy boots that she's having trouble walking in. She's like walking a little bit like Frankenstein's monster. Like I feel like they're hard to walk. She prefers fashion over practicality and comfort. Yeah. So she's going shopping for pajamas for Mahmoud because he apparently tries to wear his street clothes to bed.
Why is that? Is that a cultural thing that we don't know about? Do people in Egypt sleep in their clothes? Why?
Please let us know. She said one time they scratched her.
It seems dirty. It seems like you need to put on some clean clothes to get in the bed.
Exactly. That's how I feel. So she tells the shop worker the whole story of her relationship, kind of, the nice parts, none of the bad stuff. And he's like, oh, cool, congratulations, because he's never met them before and he doesn't know how toxic they are.
He thinks it's amazing. And he's going to go home and watch the season. He's like, that girl was in my shop?
Girl, I had a chance to save her from this toxicity, and I didn't do it.
She's had a chance to save herself many times.
That's a great point. Yeah. So 4 years ago, she went on a spiritual retreat. Of course she did, to Egypt. And the last day she met Mahmoud in a fabric store, and it was an intense attraction. She always talks about his skin, and it creeps me out. She loves his skin.
His skin is not that great. I got to be honest.
Like, fine. I don't understand.
He's no Rob. You know what I'm saying?
So she went, and he's like 9 years younger than her.
Yeah, he's 31. Yeah.
Yeah. So she went back to America. He proposed and she went right back to Egypt. They got married. They had only known each other for a month. Great idea. Mm-hmm. And then she realized that sometimes love just isn't enough.
Right.
She never listened to that song. What song? What's love got to do with it? I guess is the song I'm thinking of.
What song was the question? Yeah.
Yeah. So she tried to live in Egypt. It wasn't working. She had no idea the rules in a Muslim country could be so strict, which she could have known if she had just opened her computer.
Before she converted to Islam.
Just give it a bing. The information is available. And if you're not going to use it, I can't help you.
Right.
So the best part of all of this package of flashbacks is the editors have once again blessed us with the shot of her in the sad sack hooded bathing suit.
Burkini.
It's a burkini, and she looks like a kid whose lollipop you just stole. Like, she looks like a scuba diver because it has like this one hot pink stripe on it. She looks like she's about to go scuba diving, and she's sad about it. She doesn't want to go scuba diving. So and we see the fight on the street where I thought one of them was going to push the other one into traffic, and it was very toxic. And then so they've decided they haven't really tried everything, and he's going to come to the U.S. on a spousal visa. So we go to Mahmoud in Egypt. He is packing. He is nervous that he won't be able to find a Muslim friend or a mosque. He totally will in LA.
Yes, of course.
His mom is sad that he's leaving, and they're both crying, and it was very sad. But thank goodness that mom still has that other son, the perfect son, who found a bride and made her into a good Egyptian wife. Unlike the failure that Mahmoud is, they have that perfect brother. So,
well, he's got bad teeth, so he doesn't have everything.
Doesn't have everything. So then we're back to America, and Nicole is decorating her sad apartment. Felt very sad to me. I don't know why. Just everything about her is sad. She doesn't smile. She shows very little personality.
She doesn't get excited about much.
No, I would be very bored if I was friends with her. I need someone to get excited about little things like gossip or McDonald's.
Yeah, all of that is true.
So she's decorating with welcome signs. She can't wait for him to get here, and she'll be able to wake up with him and make him breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Okay.
She doesn't have to be taught how to use the stove because she already knows how.
Yeah, that's okay. So she's trying to convince herself that it's just going to be amazing because she won't be stuck in the house and they won't be living with his family. So it's going to be great. And she's picked out an outfit for the airport, which she thinks is a good compromise to his conservative values and her love of fashion, which is a two-piece dress skirt top thing where it shows a bit of her stomach and her ankles and shoes that remind me of a platypus. And
the shoes were bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And I appreciate that she expresses herself through fashion. I don't get it. But to you, Nicole.
Yeah.
We'll see if he says anything about the stomach. I think he'll be too distracted at the airport.
How does she make a living? Because we know that we first saw her, she like did DoorDash or whatever, but she was also she's a fashion designer. She's got a sewing machine. Like, what happens?
I think she's a stylist or a wannabe stylist,
Okay.
and she used to drive DoorDash as a backup.
Yeah.
And then she has said, I have so much experience in fashion.
Mhm.
So she's probably worked at little jobs. I don't know. Like
Okay.
Katie was a stylist and sometimes did like photo shoots or, movie shoots and stuff like that. There's lots of work for that.
Right.
But Nicole is so, you have to be personable to work in the movie industry and to work on sets. And I don't see it. I feel bad criticizing her personality. Something has beaten this woman down. And like, she's very meek and mild. She reminds me of someone who's been like raised in a cult or a very restrictive religion and then has gotten out of it. But they're still like, the way she walks is very like hunched over. Like she's not proud. She's very like timid.
Yeah.
Like she's going to do something wrong at any second. And it's hard to watch for me.
I just want to know how she affords that LA apartment. That's all I'm asking. How does she afford to live in LA? Because, look at Rob. He had to live in an abandoned restaurant.
Nicole has an indoor bathroom. She's living it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I live here? I don't know.
Same could be said for you.
If
you have a job.
I have a job. My job is to make fun of Nicole.
And so murderers. Yes.
And murderers. I'm so blessed.
Yeah. Okay, back to those two. Are we done?
Oh, that's it, girl.
Well, she goes to the airport. She makes a sign.
And welcome to America, Mahmoud, my love. Oh, I forgot about my loves. Remember?
Yeah, my love.
It's constant.
Yeah.
Okay, my love. Yes, I love you, my love. I wish you wouldn't do that, my love. It makes me so angry when you do that, my love. You're disrespecting my culture when you do that, my love. I hate you, my love.
It reminds me of a couple of things. It reminds me of Garrick and Danielle and Roberta and now Natalia on Seeking Sister Wife. He's like, okay, love. Okay, love, love. Okay, love.
That's all.
Okay, love. And I was like, the word amor, and this other person does not speak English. So why don't you say, okay, amor? Okay, amor. Why do you say, okay, love? Why? Okay, love, love.
I hate him with a passion.
No one likes him. Not one human.
Danielle.
Not one human likes him.
Hashtag save Danielle. Get her out of that relationship because she's dying inside. And you can see it during their interviews. When he said on the first episode of the season that the Bible tells us that when a man, that the Holy Spirit is sperm, and when the man goes inside a lady, his DNA goes from his sperm to her brain.
Yeah.
She just
that's what the Bible says.
She gives a Jim Halpert look to the camera. This is the man you're following around the world to bring another woman who doesn't speak your language.
I said the last episode should be called Danielle is Jim from The Office because she just constantly looks at the cameras like, anybody else hearing this? Just me? Just me? No.
Why are you doing this, Danielle? Again, I want to give her some self-esteem. She's so cute. I think she's so cute. And seems great. And take those kids and run. She's a great mom. The kids seem to love her. Take those kids and run away from this man. He is so gross.
Yep. That's true.
I know you're already covering it. So didn't mean to go into a rant. Garrick gets me.
Everybody rants when they talk about Garrick. Guys, that's on the $5 level of Pink Shade Prime. Okay. All right, let's end with Sophie and Rob. We'll remember Sophie is 24 from London, England by way of Spain. And Rob is 33. He's from Kansas City, Missouri, nay Los Angeles, nay Austin, Texas. Okay. So she's laying in bed chatting with her friend Kay. And Sophie's lashes, that can't be comfortable.
No.
Why, girl? No.
Those are the permanent ones, right? That you sleep in and you leave on for 2 weeks.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or is she waking up before the cameras get there and then doing her makeup?
I don't know, because
we've never seen her without them. So
they are getting bigger.
Yeah.
They are growing.
They're getting to be like Phaedra on Traitors, where
yes,
it's like how does she see?
In the way from seeing. Yeah. So she's chatting with Kay, and she says, I've been living with my best friend Kay for the last 2 months. You know, Rob and I moved to Austin, and it's not working out. I'm like, how is this girl your best friend if you've only known her for 2 months?
They make friends fast. He had a friend too.
Yeah, whatever.
I was jealous. How are you making friends that fast?
We hear their love story and how they met, and I did not know that they bonded over their love of animals. That was new information.
Last season, they told us they bonded over being biracial. So somebody's lying now, guys.
All right.
Or you can bond over more than one thing, I guess.
That's true. So Rob is playing baseball. He's in a batting cage or whatever. I never even wrote down the friend's name. So he reminds us that all their problems started when he online cheated, and he was really grateful she accepted his apology, and he truly never wants anyone else. It's just her. She's the love of his life. But, you know, she did get mad and moved out. And
that's not when all your problems started. You had so many other problems too.
That's just one of their problems. And they moved to Austin with their dog Rome, which is Romeo, I think. And he also got 6 pet tarantulas. What?
I was screaming, please don't show the tarantulas. Don't do this to me.
They are going to. They're going to show them.
I can't do first they're going to show me Big Ed, and then they're going to show me tarantulas. I don't know which one's worse. Can't deal with it. And Angela's new face. Why are they trying to kill me?
6 pet tarantulas.
And they didn't even show us the airport dance that he did. That would have been
We're never going to see it. We're never going to see it.
I need to see it again. That'll be a palate cleanse. I will deal with the tarantulas if they show us his stupid airport dance again.
But I also want the real music, and I want the whole dance.
Yeah, and I want to see reaction shots from people at the airport.
You guys, can anybody find us? Somebody has had to have posted that somewhere on the TikTok or the Reddit or something. The full airport dance with music. That's what we need.
Because he went to a friend that choreographed it.
Yeah.
And practiced.
Yeah.
And we got like an 8 count of it.
I know. And we don't even know the real music.
Oh my God.
So, he hasn't seen her in 2 months because she moved in with her new friend, Kay. He says new friend, Kay. Well, she says best friend, Kay. Did you notice at the foot of Kay's bed, they had a big poster made about how they're best friends? It was like a best friend poster.
It was a blanket. It was like a Zied and Rebecca from Zazzle blanket. It said best friends, and there's a photo of them in matching dresses.
Okay, not weird at all. Okay.
And it says, I love you to the moon and back on it. They just met 2 months ago.
It's giving me Kyle and Morgan Wade vibes. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't actually.
It's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
This is giving me like weird single white female. There's something. This is weird.
Yeah.
Maybe she followed her on Instagram before or watched her on the show.
I thought she was so amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next thing you know, she's in your bed. So, in the talking head, she says she thought that he had put that online cheating thing behind him, but she saw some kind of random text on his phone, and that made her curious. So she found a way to get into his social media and saw he had been talking to way more girls than he admitted to, but I think it was from back in the day. So it wasn't like recent, but
it's hard to tell. Yeah. It's very confusing the way they explain these scandals.
It seems like she went back to the online cheating thing that she knew about and like went back further than that and realized there was way more many girls than he had admitted to.
Yeah. Later she says like 50 bitches.
Yeah. 50 bitches. But that could have been over the past 3 years. Listen, I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying it's not recent. But her point is this: when I discovered it and that you would receive these videos and encouraging it, whatever, you didn't tell me there wasn't just 2 girls. There was 20 more behind them, and there was 30 more before that. You know,
it's a lie built on a lie built on a lie,
yeah.
And it's repetitive behavior.
You should have just come clean, like, okay, yep. And there was a ton of girls that sent me these videos. I don't even know how many.
Yeah.
So guess what you could do? You can make your Instagram private. So Rob,
just get off social media, and I mean that's how he could finally fix this. I mean, he still has like a sex addiction or something.
Something's
He'll
happening
find
there.
another way, I guess.
He needs attention real bad.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So Rob tells his buddy, whoever he is, that Kay is just the bane of his existence. It's just ruining his relationship because in person, he'll be like, hey, Rob, it's great to see you. But behind his back, he knows she's like, oh, you should dump him, whatever. She doesn't respect me. She doesn't respect my marriage. And, in all honesty, I got to wonder, like, is she banging this girl? Are they like in a relationship? And the buddy goes, excuse me, what? Why would you think that? He goes like, yeah, she told me she's bisexual. And the buddy's like, but is Kay bisexual? He's like, I don't know. He's like, wait, you need to find out. Like, and he does, because if she is over at Kay's in a whole other relationship, then yeah, that would be important to know,
And the editing was kind of making us, she's like, he doesn't give me what I need. And the Kay goes, but I do. Or I give you more than he does. Or I take care of you better than he does.
Yes.
And I was like, so they want us to think that they are doing
That's sexual. Yeah.
But Rob is still not taking accountability because he says Kay is the bane of their relationship.
Right.
It's not his behavior.
No. So now her mom, Claire, has come to visit, and we're going to meet Claire's boyfriend, John, who lives in Texas. Coincidence?
I have so many questions.
About John? He was cute.
Adorable. How old is John? How old is Claire? Claire lives in Mexico full time. Does Claire speak any Spanish? Her accent is so thick. I want to see what it sounds like when she speaks Spanish. And again, how old is John? And how did they meet? And is she just meeting him so she can hang out with Sophie? Like, what's happening?
I bet Claire is 45.
No.
What do you think, she's older?
I think she's so much older.
Because Sophie's 24.
That's
so I think Claire's just 45. I think she had Sophie very young.
We learned something later about Claire.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Does explain
a lot.
Maybe a long stretch of road that she's lived on.
Yeah.
Hard stretch of road.
I think she's 45. I think John is also 45.
Okay. He seems like a very nice guy.
He does. He doesn't know what he's getting into.
No.
So Sophie says, listen, I'm glad to see my mom happy. I'm glad she's got this like nice, stable boyfriend, because we've heard Rob allude to the fact that she's had some real losers in her life.
Which was not a good example for Sophie. And probably one of the reasons she stays with Rob.
Yes. And also like
horrible stuff.
Also, she's trying to get away from her mom and make her own family, make her own
to
happiness.
Redo what she didn't have as a kid.
We've seen it all before.
Yep. These are childhood traumas.
And she says, actually, if my mom's got this boyfriend and she's happy, maybe that'll take some of the pressure off of me. Like, she won't be so focused on my relationship. She won't always be meddling or whatever.
Yeah.
And Claire says to John, like, Sophie's husband is Rob. You know what I call him? It's Rob the Knob. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? It means penis. Penis. And Sophie's like, okay.
She's so proud of Rob the Knob, like that she came up with this. Is she trying to patent it, TM, and put it on shirts and sell merch? Because I don't think anyone else finds it as funny as she does.
I mean, it
rhymes.
It's a pretty easy joke.
Yeah, it's very low hanging fruit.
Yeah. So she goes, listen, Mom, you need to lay off the whole thing with Rob, because I am probably going to move back in with him. And she was like, what? He used to go out and leave her. He online cheated. He's awful. He's mean to you. He's not good enough for you. And she was like, Mom, he is my husband. He is a really good person. I wouldn't have married him if he was a bad person. He has a really nice side. I don't want you to think bad about him. Our marriage is in a weird spot right now. So John, of course, is like, I just was trying to get my kebab. Or whatever.
He's not a talker, too. He kind of sits there.
And he says, what will you do to repair it? Like, are you trying to work on it? And she says, I'm going to meet up with him soon. I'm going to see if we can talk through our problems. And then she'll say, it will be an absolute disaster. It's bad energy. Then Sophie tells us, which is what you're alluding to, that she did not have a stable childhood. She didn't grow up with a father around, and her mom struggled with substance abuse. Her mom didn't really raise her. She really took care of her mother a lot.
I mean, all of the things I've suspected or we've suspected are falling into place with Sophie and why she keeps going back to this man.
It's interesting too that Rob talks about how she grew up so rich and fancy.
Right.
And also said that whenever you've ever fallen down or been on bad times, you've always got somebody there to pick you up and take care of you. But who? If the mom is like,
I think there's a grandparent, at least several grandparents that have money that have probably stepped in when Claire was not doing good. But Claire was set up for failure. She never had a dad. She never had a mom.
Sophie was set up for failure. Yeah.
She never had a dad. She never had a mom showing her what a healthy, respectful relationship is. So she lets this man treat her like dirt.
Yeah.
I was hoping John, I know this is not his place to step in. And
nor do we even know him.
Claire, and we don't know him, but I get good vibes. My vibes are sometimes off, but sometimes they're on. He could step in. It's like a father figure and just have a chat with her. Just meet her for coffee and say, I know you don't know me very well, but I've heard about Rob. And I just want to say, this is not how a man should treat a woman. This is not how a wife should be treated. And I don't feel like you ever learned that. And you can do better. And maybe she'll be so desperate for a father figure. She needs to join like a Big Brother program. But like for girls who need fathers, is that a thing?
I think that's super problematic, Kimberly. I think that's probably not a good idea on any level. In the world we live in today, that's just asking for trouble.
I just heard about a wonderful program, and it is like Rent a Uncle or something. And it's like for people who are like LGBTQIA plus or whatever, or for whatever reason, but I think it's mostly for that have been estranged from their families don't support them. You can go on this site and like find a loving person that will go to your wedding, that will go to an event with you, that will like support you and show up as like a family member for free. And you can volunteer to be one of those people.
I'm glad you said for free, because I was like, you have to pay for this?
No, it's for free. Yeah.
It's really nice.
I know. So it doesn't always have to be creepy, but rent a dad, I agree, could be super, super problematic.
Yeah. Yeah. You were like specifically for teenage girls whose dads have left the home. If your dad left the home when you were a teenager, now you're looking for a dad, what you should do is go to Kimberly's program called Rent a Dad.
No. Yeah.
I don't think any of that's going to work out.
Oh, God. I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, God.
And I know we don't know John, and it's not his place to be a stepfather. I just think she needs like some sort of parental figure.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't listen to her mom.
Rob's mom seemed very nice.
Let's talk but is she going to say anything bad about Rob? Maybe the sister. Yeah,
the sister seemed to know what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. So now she's going to meet up with Rob, and he says, I'm really nervous to see her, and I want to see if she'll come back home. I hope it goes well. I just want to work towards the future. So they're going to the selfie galleries. Like, she always wants to go to these selfie galleries, but I never wanted to go. So
only these two would pick a selfie museum.
He said she picked it. He wasn't into it.
He picked it as a place to have a discuss the relationship talk.
Yeah.
There's some symbolism there. Like
some content at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very like symbolic. Like they're each too, he's too focused on himself for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
So there's some symbolism there.
So she says she's excited, but she's really been overthinking it. And she really wants him to just take accountability and prove that she can trust him. And then when she just burst into tears during the little like talking head, she says, I just have so much anxiety talking about this. Like, she's burst into tears.
She has, we've seen her have anxiety problems before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad for her. I mean, that's rough.
So they see each other. They walk in. He walks in. She's already there. And as they're talking, he's like, you got him all pushed up, huh? Boobs. She pushed him right up there. Yeah. He just couldn't wear a t-shirt.
That's the same outfit she always wears.
She's always in a skin tight something.
Those crop tops with the little bit of stomach showing.
Yes. Yeah. And God bless.
Yeah. Good for her.
And then she says, that like in the talking head, she's like, it's crazy. Like just seeing him, like I get the butterflies, and that's just like how I feel like, he's my person. And he says, right when I saw her, like my heart beats out of my chest. She just does that to me, and it also doesn't her that they're both just extremely hot people.
100%.
Yeah.
But then the second that fades away, within 5 minutes, he's disrespecting her and being totally rude. And they're fighting. So that those butterflies go away pretty quickly.
They take a bunch of selfies. They sit down to talk. And he was like, I've got your ring. She's like, oh, I knew you took it. I thought I lost it all this time. I've been so just wrecked thinking that I lost it and you were going to be so mad. I knew you took it. He goes, I didn't take it. You left it at the apartment. Oh, I knew you took it. He's like, I didn't take it.
She didn't know what to do. There are so many tables and surfaces at that new apartment. There's a bathroom inside. There's so many places you can leave a ring. She was confused.
She was confused. But he's not wearing his ring. And she goes, oh, so you're just like, looks like you're single. It's like false advertising. He's like, no, like you don't have your ring on, which is a good point on his part.
Yeah, this is a dumb fight.
It's everything with them is a dumb fight. So they go back and forth. She moved out 2 months ago. She just left. And he goes like, I mean, I really honestly don't know why you just left and I didn't do anything. And she goes, Rob, you didn't do anything. And he goes, after we got married, I did a full factory reset on my phone. And you found like 50 chicks in my phone that had just like been from the past. And he says, there's no interactions with these girls at all. Like these girls were just DMing him. And she goes,
so he wasn't writing them back, he's saying.
That's what he's saying. There was no interaction. It was just these women had just sent him DMs because
everything
of his
he says
modeling.
is a half truth. So I don't know if
I think it's a half truth. I think it's a half truth. And he says, no interactions at all. She goes, that's it. Like, you just don't take accountability. You just don't take accountability. He goes, I'm saying what you saw was right. And he says, I did lie about that, all that stuff before. And, I just didn't want to tell you about any kind of small thing that happened because I'm trying to avoid conflict. So now he's saying maybe some of these were small conversations. Like the girls reached out and he wrote back like, hey, send me a nude or whatever. He just didn't want to like mention all of the small conversations. And she goes, here's the thing. If you're just honest with me, then that would be something like I could be accepting and move past it because at least you're trying. You're telling me the full truth. And he says, the truth is, like, I didn't want to tell you that stuff because I don't like this conflict. Right?
He has the submit thing, the Ricci thing. Which is just avoid conflict by lying. Just don't say anything until it explodes into something and you have to say it.
Yeah, you're so right. It is like submit. It is like Rishi. You're so right. And he says, first of all, I have to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had conversations with those women. They were not physical and all of this stuff is like, you're just reaching. So he should have stopped. He should have said, I'm sorry I had conversations with those women. None of it was physical and then be done.
Full stop.
And then he says, but you're just reaching. And she goes, all right, that's it. She goes, you just say the same things and you don't change. Say the same things over and over. You never change. And he says, I'm here. I'm apologizing. And she goes, but you're talking in a circle. And he says, I just want you to come home so we can try to work our shit out at home because you just won't let some of this stuff go. Again, stop. Just say, I want you to come home so we can try to work this out. You then don't need to say, because you won't let it go.
Right. There's always a but and an accusation that throws it onto the other person.
Yes, he does a great job. He apologizes. He takes accountability, but then he goes, but you were wrong too.
Yeah. And he's a gaslighter. He's always minimizing and making it seem like she's crazy for being upset about this.
Yeah. Yes.
She's never gotten a real apology.
She says, you don't get it. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I have nothing to talk to you about. And he's like, okay, then just walk off. So she's like, bye, and walks out. Now, I do think she moves back in, but I do think then she quickly probably moves back out. And then we don't know also when the tell-all was shot for the other show. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. I was so happy when I saw she had moved out. I was like, free Sophie. And then when she walked out of the selfie museum, I was happy again. But I agree there's going to be more.
Because her hair's got to go back to brown.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of hair changes happening.
Yeah. Also, the funniest part of that scene was him pretending that he doesn't love having his picture taken.
Oh, he was like trying to pretend like he was on a phone. He was like, wait, this is so cringy. Okay.
This is so dumb. I hate this. Like, it's not his whole Instagram feed.
And then he smizes at the camera.
Smizing and giving the blue blue, what's it called? Blue
steel.
steel
Yeah.
to the camera. But he's pretending like, oh, this is so dumb. I never do this. Oh, wait, that's not my good side.
Tom Sandoval and Vanderpump Rules, we used to talk about a look that he did when he was modeling. It was called, it's like,
Tom Sandoval was a model?
yes. And Tom Schwartz was a very successful model.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I think
Sandoval
Tom
too.
Schwartz is way cuter than I've only recently found out who all these people are.
Okay.
I'm one of those losers who jumped on the train very late. And I think Tom Schwartz is super cute because he's very quirky looking.
You start with season 1 and you will be jaw on the floor at how good looking he is.
Wow.
And Jax Taylor too, for that matter.
Uh-huh.
Very good looking when because they were all models. They were all models.
I didn't know that.
He called it, it's like sun in the eyes, car in the distance. So you're squinting. So you're squinting, but like you're looking at the car in the distance. It's called sun in the eyes, something in the distance.
Yeah, I like that. I need to practice a look. You need to practice a look for your new headshots.
Oh my God! Why did you remind me of the headshots?
You got to practice.
I did buy another cute like band T-shirt the other day that I was like, all right, maybe this is going to be what I'm going to wear for my headshot.
I love it.
It's like a Nirvana T-shirt. And I'm like, I genuinely love Nirvana, so I'm not being a poser.
No.
I don't like
Billie
people.
Eilish one. You love Billie.
I do love Billie. What a I'm gonna write that down. I just sort of like if I see a shirt somewhere, I'll be like, oh, I should get that. But I'll only buy it if it's a band that I like. If it's not a band, I almost bought one yesterday that was Blondie.
Yeah.
And I do like Blondie, but I was like, am I being a poser?
Right.
Do I like Blondie that much?
No, totally. Like you have to be prepared that someone's going to ask you what your favorite deep cut song is. And if you're not prepared, like I'm a diehard Swiftie, but I'm not even diehard enough. Like I know every surprise song she sings on the Eras tour. Some of them are very deep cuts. And I'm like, oh, I would get called out if that happened. Like if I was wearing a shirt. Somebody's ready to gatekeep and be like, do you know? But Billie. I feel like you would pass the test.
When I was getting my facial treatment at Bunky John in Ohio, he put Billie Eilish on to make me more relaxed. Aww. And then when I was huffing on laughing gas and half a Xanax, I would give him information about the songs while he was trying to inject my face.
She's gotten you through some hard times.
She has. I was like, it was my favorite song that the name of it just went out of my head right when I tried to say it. I go, this is the first song they wrote. She's Bellyache. I was like, Bellyache is the first song. I go, this is the first song. She wrote this song. That's the song. And then they wrote Ocean Eyes. Now, Ocean Eyes is more popular, but this is the first song.
That would totally be me doing Taylor Swift or Dateline or 90 Day. I would start going into a rant about Gino and Jasmine's history.
Yeah.
And they would have no idea what I was talking about.
Because the first song, if you put on like the Billie Eilish Spotify or the Apple playlist or Sonos or whatever you had on, and it just plays like just like the hits or whatever, I guess, not any deep cuts, which I would have been happy with the deep cuts. The first song, of course, was What Was I Made For from the Barbie movie. And I was like, this is the second Oscar. She won 2 Oscars.
Yes, so she's the youngest person to win 2.
She was 2 Oscars back to back. What was I made for the Barbie movie? And he's like, what was the other one she won for? I go, it's from No Time to Die from the, I don't know, James Bond.
I'd be like, Natalie did not like living in Squim. And then she thought his mom called her a prostitute, but we still don't know if she called because the camera wasn't there. And so we think that she said like hooker, and maybe she said cooker because Natalie was cooking. And she said, are you a cooker? But Natalie thought she said hooker. And you're not even supposed to say
She for sure said hooker, by the way. She for sure said hooker.
And you're not even supposed to say that. You're supposed to say sex worker. So I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll get a Billie Eilish shirt. That's more on brand. I have a really good Grateful Dead one. I was looking for kind of a specific one so they wouldn't have too many words on it. You guys, this photo shoot, I really hadn't thought about it in about a week till you just said that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it. But I have started my 10-day no drinking, walking twice a day, which is going to completely change me. Got 10 days to my LA trip, guys. So I'm going to detox. So I'll look just like an LA person when I get there.
This is what, look at me. This is what a real LA person looks like.
I'm so ridiculous. Funky beat up, March 30th. Okay. Date with Dateline. Are you covering the one that was on this past weekend? Because I did watch.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I really have to start. Oh, someone was mad at you because you spoiled it last week. Our friend Mike V, who's one of our, literally, like, has been listening since 2017, and he lives in England, and he doesn't get Dateline where he is in England, so he listens to us or listens to the Dateline podcast. But so he was like, remind Mary Payne not to tell us who the killer is. Thank you, love you.
But I mean,
but he said it with a cute British accent.
It had almost been a week.
I don't think we had released our episode yet, though. So if he hadn't listened to it.
Okay, listen. I'm going on the Dateline, the program. It had almost been a week since it aired.
But he doesn't get it there. So maybe
I'm sorry specifically to Mike.
He's the most dearest. We love him so much.
I am very happy, number one, that he's listening here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate a new listener from England. And I apologize for the past 30 minutes when I did a terrible British accent.
I don't think you did it that much. Did you do it? I don't even notice anymore.
I know
that you're
terrible.
Doing Sophie. I don't. You don't try to do Claire, at least. Like,
oh, I do both of them, and they're terrible.
So her accent is something else. I think it's a combination of lots of things going on.
She's got an underbite as well.
Yeah.
Mike V, I love you. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry. I won't spoil it. Remind me what episode it was, and then I'm going to, in my head, quickly try to see if I can remember what happened.
Right. So it was Deadly Swap.
Yes.
And it was about a woman that was killed in a Target parking lot in her car. Very good episode.
Very good episode.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing.
Very twisty and turny.
Yes.
Off mic, we'll discuss it. I won't say a word, Mike V, but it was really good. Okay, well, I can't wait to listen. I'm going to be listening to that on Wednesday when A Date with Dateline drops. Everybody, please follow Date with Dateline on Instagram at Dateline. Please follow me at Pink Shade Pod. Am I at 10,000? No, I'm not. But I'm getting close.
I just posted asking people to follow you again.
Thank you. You guys, Kimberly is... I'm not paying her for social media boosting, but she is doing it on her own as a grassroots project.
I do love social justice. I'm always here for a march or a picket, and I will do an online grassroots social awareness campaign.
Yes.
Especially getting Mary Payne to 10K.
I mean, I might be very close to 9,500.
That's very close.
I was in the upper 400s earlier today.
Wow.
Now that Love is Blind is gone, I'm not getting those big boosts, but I'm hoping maybe something great will come out of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My post has only gotten eight likes, so that's not one of my best.
Maybe you should put some music to it. Look, there's fun pictures of my dogs there sometimes.
Yeah. I really need to amp it up.
Oh God, no, you don't need to amp it up. I need to amp it up.
No, you're doing great. You're trying your hardest.
I'm trying so hard. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you on Thursday. I have Ronnie Karam of Watch What Crappens coming on Thursday to talk about the premiere episode of The Valley.
Oh, The Valley. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so excited.
I have seen it. It is good.
Okay.
It is good. I'm recommending it. Really. I was really prepared for it to be terrible, but I live
in the Valley and am super prepared to see how they're making it seem.
My first night in LA, I'm going to Jax's Sports Bar in Studio City.
Okay.
With Ryan Bailey.
Oh, I love it.
Who famously had like beef with Jax. It's going to be amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's going to be great.
Also, Ronnie and Ben hate the Valley. Like, I was just listening to one of their below decks and they were going off on the Valley. They hate it. They were making so much fun of it. While I was walking in a beautiful park in the Valley.
They don't hate the show. They hate the actual Valley.
The actual Valley. They hate the Valley. A lot of people in LA hate the Valley. It's very looked down upon.
The latest episode I listened to them, which I believe was a Vanderpump Rules recap, they took back all that stuff that you're saying that they said.
Did? Okay, great. Because
you should listen to it because they were like, we've gotten a lot of commentary on our Valley commentary.
Yes, because they were harsh.
They've taken it all back now.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is not
But
spoiled by
hey,
what
this is
happens.
just like a PSA. You can listen to a podcast and disagree with their views and not come at them for it and just skip the episode or continue to listen or stop listening.
And be like, hey, that's funny. I don't care if they hate DC. I live here. What can I do about it?
Who
I hate it
cares?
too.
And I'll still give them a 5-star review.
I'll still
So
give them a 5-star review and pay $5 for their Patreon.
look at how that goes.
Look
You
how
can
that
just
works.
keep it to yourself and then go on Pink Shade and bitch about it.
Keep it in your heart. Not
Yeah.
everybody needs to know everything.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Thank you.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.